solve compound inequalities. So we've been just doing things that were like x plus 5 is less than 2, and we've been, moving stuff around, getting x by itself, and then once we get to x less than whatever, or greater, whatever, we've been graphing them. Yesterday I didn't make you graph them because of we've been doing so many, but today we're going to be back to graphing because these are a different kind of graph. Okay, so compound inequalities. They're really not harder. It's just a little different. Consist of two separate inequalities joined by and or. Now, and doesn't typically get written, okay? Typically, it just happens in the way that, it looks, or it's two separate, completely separate things, and so you will see both of those. So an and graph goes, like, between the 2 points. An or graph, they go opposite. Okay, so an and graph will be something like this. Maybe? Okay, it's going to be crooked. I'm just going to do it with brackets, but just know that it could be parentheses, it could be brackets, it could be whatever. Okay, and it will be filled in between. The whole thing can just disappear. Okay, that was cool. Anyways, be filled in between. If it's an or graph, it will instead be opposite. And so it would be facing, I'll do this one with parentheses. Again, brackets, parentheses aren't going to make a difference. And so it would be facing opposite.
What's it called?
Because there's different possibilities for what it could be. It's like two inequalities in one, basically. Okay. Let's just jump into some problems because it's the easiest to see with actually having problems set. All right, so the first ones are translating phrases. So if they gave us something like number 4, it says all real numbers that are less than or equal to -8 or greater than 12. All right, so let's just look at the first part. All real numbers that are less than or equal to -8. How would you write that? And when it says all real numbers, that's just saying x, basically. So how would we write that? Ignore this or greater than 12 part.
X is less than or equal to -8.
Yep, so x less than or equal to -8. All right, then it says or, okay, so we actually write the word or. What this says is that x is either less than or equal to -8 or it's greater than 12. So the other one would be x is greater than 12, like that. And that would be how that would be written. Okay, now sometimes we're actually going to be solving equations that end up giving us answers that look like this, but this is just setting up the actual phrase. All right, now for some reason they did both even ones are ors and both odd ones are And so I'm going to do an odd one, which I don't obviously normally do, but I want you to see an example of that. So 5, all real numbers that are greater than or equal to negative 1.5 and less than 9.2. All right, so all real numbers greater than or equal to negative 1.5. So this is going to be a little bit different in how we do this because this is an and. That means our x goes between our numbers, okay? So I'm going to put the x first. Now, I know that x is less than 9.2, so I'm going to go ahead and write that. So less than 9.2. But it also told me the very first thing it said was that it's greater than or equal to negative 1.5. Okay? So this is written as one inequality, but it has two in it, or it'll look like one. It technically is two separate. And so this would actually be like this. Negative 1.5 is less than or equal to x is less than 9.2. Because if I were to separate it, that would say x is greater than or equal to negative 1.5. I'm just reading this backwards. And x is less than 9.2. So what this tells me is that whatever value x is between negative 1.5 and 9.2. Okay? What the previous one in number 4 told me was that x is less than or equal to negative 8 or x is greater than 12. Okay, so when we actually start graphing them and stuff, it will make a little more sense. But these ones just wanted us to set them up. Well, they say to graph. We're going to graph other ones. Any questions about how we wrote these yet? Okay. And like I said, as we go, it'll make more sense when there's other things happening. So these ones, solve the inequality and graph the solution. So number 10, negative 7 is greater than y minus 8 is greater than or equal to negative 12. So the goal is still to get the variable by itself. Okay, but now obviously you can see it's in the middle and there's things on the outsides. So just like when I got rid of it, if it was just this and I say, well, I'm going to add 8 to both sides. Now we have to add 8 to all 3 spots. Okay, so just for you to have the visual, I'm adding 8 here for that to cancel. I add 8 here, but I also add it over here. Okay, so now it's getting done 3 times. So to move something in a compound inequality like this, you have to move it out of all 3 areas. So negative 7 plus 8 would be negative 1 is greater than y is greater than or equal to negative 12.
It's not negative 1.
It's not.
It's negative 4.
Yep. Look at that. Y'all got a cookie point.
But is it?
Oh, negative 1. It's not supposed to be negative 1. It's supposed to be 1. 2.
Look at that.
Oh, 2.
My seniors are going to come in and say, what did you do? Look at that. Now you only need 7 more.
So which one of us gets the cookies? We all get the cookie, Sam. There's only one.
There can only be one.
No, Sam.
Yeah, I'm going to bring in 1 cookie for the whole class.
We'll use math
We only
to
got a
split
single crumble.
We'll use math to split it.
You get one?
I mean, maybe like a cookie cake you could share, but I don't think you can share like a one single cookie.
The video's not here, so it's fine. Yeah.
All right, so
I like the birthday one.
it's fine if you leave it like this. This is just telling you that the value for y is between 1 and negative 4. The book is going to write it so that it's in numerical order, okay? And when we graph it, you need to flip it, okay? Because otherwise you're going to end up graphing it wrong. So I'm going to flip this whole thing over. So just how we like mirrored it the other day. So this is going to say negative 4 is less than or equal to y is less than 1.
Wait, why do we flip it?
Because it's in numerical order.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, now setting up our graph.
Shut it.
Not nice, Sam.
Sam, be nice.
No, I'm tired of being nice.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
So you're gonna be a bully?
Don't be like Obidi, Sam.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's happening here is I put a bracket at negative 4 because this is or equal to. Now, y is between, okay? So when the y or whatever variable is between, I know that my graph has to be going between. Okay, this is an and graph. Then over here at 1, I have a parentheses, and it's facing inward because it's facing the direction that the y is going. Okay, so wherever the y is, that's where it is, or whatever variable it is. In this case, it's a y. And then I fill in the middle like that. Okay, so that is how you graph these ones. So these are different than what we've been doing. You should have 2 brackets or parentheses or a combination of them like this one. Now, I'm sure we'll have one like this in a minute, but the other thing I will say is if we divide or multiply by a negative at any point in a problem like this, we flip both inequalities, okay? Whereas in the other ones, obviously there was only one to flip. We'll be flipping both of them in this stuff. Yes?
Why does the negative 4 have the straight lines and the 1 has like
Because
the.
of a line under the greater than sign is
This is or equal to.
Wait,
So
how
it's
do
a
you tell
bracket.
which one is,
So it's the line on
How did you
no, like the one that goes
Yo.
to it.
We just started.
You don't understand my intellectuality. That's
What?
Okay, look, focus. If it's or equal to, it's a bracket. We should know this from the very first section in this chapter that we did. We've done 3 sections of this stuff now. If it's no line under it, then it's a parentheses.
Oh, I didn't know you could have 2.
That's what this whole section is
That's
about,
what this whole
Sam.
section's for, buddy.
Sam, did you not read the title?
I don't think
The title's right here, buddy.
Okay, what does it say?
Solve. Never mind.
He
Alright.
does not.
Exactly.
He does not have it. He doesn't have it.
All right, number 12. Negative 6 is less than 3n plus 9 less than 21. So again, everything that we do, we have to do to all the pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 9 from everywhere. I'm not going to show it like I did in the previous one. I'm just going to do it. So negative 6 minus 9 would be negative 15 is less than 3n is less than 21 minus 9 is, what is that, 12? Yep, now I'm dividing by 3 and everything. So this is going to be negative 5, less than n, less than 4. Is this in numerical order?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I can go ahead and graph. And notice a lot of times what I honestly will do, aside from like maybe putting the 0 on here, when I'm doing these, I will only end up putting the numbers that I need for compound inequality. I don't like count all these extra things, like that's it. So the n, so the variable is between the inequalities. That means that the graph is facing inward. Okay, these are both just less thans. So is it parentheses or brackets? Parentheses on both. So parentheses at negative 5 facing in, and at positive 4 facing in, and I color between. All right, 14. 7 is greater than 2/3 times 6q plus 18 is greater than or equal to negative 9. Alright, so the first thing I would recommend you do is distribute. If you were to multiply by 3/2 to get rid of that, you would have to do that on both sides, but that's going to end up giving me fractions, so I'm going to see if I can avoid that if possible. So I'm going to distribute this 2/3 to both of these things. So that's going to give me 7 is greater than 2/3 times 6q, the 3 and the 6 reduce, and that gives me a 2, so that's 4q. Plus 2/3 times 18, 3 and 18, that gives me 6 times 2 is 12. So in the middle, I have 4q plus 12, and then greater than or equal to negative 9. Now I'm going to subtract 12 from everything. Okay, so remember all three places. So 7 minus 12, negative 5 is greater than 4q is greater than or equal to negative 9 minus 12, negative 21. Then I divide by 4. So this is negative 5 over 4 is greater than q is greater than or equal to negative 21 over 4.
Wait, don't I have to switch them?
What do you mean?
I have to switch them because
It's a numerical order.
Are you saying to flip the inequalities or to flip the whole problem?
No. Wait. Not a whole problem because it's not a numerical order.
Yes, exactly. It is not in numerical order, so I do need to flip it. Negative 21 over 4 is smaller than negative 5 over 4. Okay, because this is 5 and 1/4. This is 1 and 1/4, but they're negative. So I need to flip the whole thing over. So negative 21 over 4 is less than or equal to q is less than negative 5 over 4. So then I can set up my graph. If you want to make them mixed numbers, the book makes them mixed numbers. I had that question the other day. You can. I'm personally just going to leave them improper because that's normally what I do. So q is between, so I'm putting it between. Now, are my brackets, parentheses, a mix? What am I?
It's a mix.
Okay, so what goes where?
Brackets go right, parentheses goes left.
Okay, so bracket here, opening in, parentheses here, opening in, and I shade between.
What was that?
That was so easy.
Damn. Just because you got one
You had
problem
so
right
many-
doesn't mean that you
so many difficult.
doesn't just because you get one right.
You think that's easy?
Yes, Sam.
You made
Alright,
it.
guys.
Alright, guys, y'all are confident. Y'all are confident.
I'm not cooking.
You're confident.
Number 16. 16 is less than negative s minus 6 or 2s. I don't like that they're using s's. It's annoying. 2s plus 5 is greater than or equal to 11. Were you asleep for the first 5 minutes of class?
Wait, no. It was just a joke. Yeah.
Oh, really, Sam?
Because you're the master.
Yeah,
That's
how you
not what
guys
I
do this
said.
for us already?
Teacher, I never said those words.
Alright, so this is basically just two separate problems. Okay, this is essentially just doing two problems in one. Okay, but they're their own entity. Okay, I can cover up this one completely while I solve for s over here. Then I can do the same thing over here. I can cover this one up and solve for s completely over here. Okay, so I'm going to work all the way down on this one. Then I'm going to write the word or, and then I'm going to work all the way down on this one.
Wait, is that plus S and not plus 5?
This is a 5. This is an s.
Oh.
Look, I'm going to change them to x's so it's not confusing.
Put a 5 too.
That's what I
Can you
did.
guys not see
I think I solved the
S?
problem. I like X.
Okay, I just changed the s's to x's so that it's not confusing. The book uses s, which I can't stand when they use an s, but it's fine.
hard.
I don't want to hear it from you.
They look too similar to 5s. Alright, so this left problem, I'm going to add 6 to both sides first. So that's going to give me 22 is less than negative x. What happens when I divide by that negative sign? I'm going to flip it. So this is going to be negative 22 is greater than x.
Flip it.
You already did flip it, Jonathan.
Flip it again to get the variable.
Okay, flip the whole thing to give me x is less than negative 22. Now, over here, I'm going to work the other one down. So I'm going to subtract 5. So 2x is greater than or equal to 6.
Oh.
Divide by 2.
Guys.
So x is greater than or equal to 3.
I'm with Sam.
So my answer is x is less than negative 22 or x is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, so this graph is going to be 1 because it's an or that's going opposite. So, got my graph here. And again, these numbers are pretty crazy and out and spread apart. I would suggest, this is what I usually do. If you just really want to have another number on here, you can add a 0. It really doesn't matter. All right, so there's a parentheses going to the left, okay, at negative 22, because this is or, so they go opposite. Or is opposite. O and O. And then x is greater than or equal to 3. That means it's a bracket going to the right there. So we see the difference in this and the previous ones.
That way. We're good.
Okay.
I think we're ready for homework, guys.
Wait, what? No, wait. Let me
I'm ready
just.
for the homework.
Let me see if you
Let's
want.
do it.
We don't need more.
Sam, I thought you were the master.
What
Yeah,
do you
Sam.
mean?
You should have got this on the first
Yeah, I got it right.
Yeah, that was you, man.
What happened to this is
I
so
remember
easy?
that. I remember that.
What happened to this is so
I remember that. Sam, we got that on
All right,
recording,
if you
man.
think you've got this, then do this one and we'll see.
Yeah, if you think you got it, do 18. Alright.
What about you saying do anything?
I will do 18, you yapper. Easy.
You yapper?
You yapper.
You're yapping.
You yap about like the first
thing. Why would you flip it?
Sam,
I'm not a
Sam, you
Muppet.
do it.
I'm doing it.
Everybody do this on your own paper.
Okay. Do it, Sam. You better get it right.
Bobby, be quiet.
That was not a
That was the word you said.
Do the problem, buddy.
I am the
Sam?
problem. I'm on the graph.
I'm on the graphing too.
I'm almost. That means happy y'all guessed.
No, that means
I
I
didn't
did the
guess.
work.
I'm like, I didn't guess.
This was.
That doesn't
Well,
matter.
that was-
Yes,
that
I
was
did
easy.
the work.
Come on, Sam, we're relying on you, the master.
Yeah.
I am.
Go off, pro.
You are a master? Oh. And you should get it right.
Yeah, I will be there. Bro, stop inspecting my work. You're trying to copy off me. Oh my god. I'm the master.
I'm
Yeah,
already
but that doesn't-
done.
That doesn't mean you can
I'm already
cheat.
done. Why would I copy off you?
Man.
Sam, I don't think you're gonna tell us if you got the answer right or not.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I will. Yes, I will. Haters all around me. I can't escape them.
I don't think Abby
Sam, I think
or
it's wrong.
Abby J
No, it's
or
not.
Harrison
Let me
No,
said
it's
look.
not.
anything.
No,
Let
it's
me
not.
look.
No, it's not.
I'll help you.
Shut up.
All right.
Just spin it back.
You lost your privilege.
Not the graph, but for the actual like math part, what did we get?
W is
W is less than negative 17 or W is greater than 5.
I got
Oh wait, I got that. Wait.
I got that.
got
You're
five
just
too.
now writing it.
I got 4 for the thing.
I've been got that.
How'd y'all get 5? I got 4.
You have to divide it by.
20 divided by 4 is 5.
Embarrassing. Look like the master
Maybe
of this title.
Maybe Sam wasn't the one we should be worried about.
Oh!
My bad.
Great. That was you.
I put a bracket there. just
Sam's
for-
over
All right, any questions on this one?
It was nothing.
No, I can go right to the homework.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I have one more I want you to do before you do that.
Shut up,
You ready for
Sam.
the homework, buddy?
Oh my
Sam,
god.
you're definitely not.
Yes, I am. I just did the hardest.
I don't
question.
think
That was not the
was
hardest
not
problem.
the
That
hardest
was not the hardest.
Wait, did you said that was the last one?
I
She
did
said
not
one
say
more
that was
before
the
we do
last
homework.
one.
She
Why
said
do
we're
you
doing
keep on
this.
calling
This
every
one is
teacher?
the last one
This teacher-
before we do the homework. That's
Do you
what
not
she
know
said.
the teacher's name?
Yes, I do.
What's her
Why
name?
Why do you say Miss
What's her
Teacher?
name? What's her-
Wait, chill. Too much pressure on me.
What's her name, Sam?
Oh, it's Miss Quinn.
Well, what took you so long?
Because of pressure, bro. Like,
No, no
All right, work this problem.
He's a pro.
oh, someone speaks fast.
Sam.
There's a couple different ways you could do the one on the right. You can choose whichever way you prefer to do it.
That doesn't make sense.
Sam.
No, it wasn't.
All right, we have an answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we get?
H is less than -4 or H is greater than or equal to 28.
Do we agree?
We should all
Yeah.
talk slower so we know
Yeah, my answer. Is
Okay, on the graph, what's happening? What does it look like?
Parentheses left, bracket right.
Yeah, that's what I
That's what we got.
Was
Oh, I
that
just
the homework under your
got.
head?
Yeah, I got it right.
Maybe.
I got,
Wait, no,
I
I
got
got
the answer right. I just put the thing.
I didn't put a negative somewhere.
I
My
didn't
answer
put
was
a
wonky.
negative either. I'm like, I didn't put it.
My answer
All right,
was
your
wonky.
problems, which you should have time, I think, to get them knocked out. But if not, they're due on Tuesday because we don't have school Monday. 3, 6, and then 9 through 21 odd.
So you're supposed to have to know.
You're supposed to ask